The ashes of Colony 7 still smoldered when Aris descended through the smoke-choked atmosphere. His scales, iridescent and ancient, caught the dying light of the system's twin suns as his massive wings folded against his serpentine body. The Draconis were not meant for ground combat. They were diplomats, scholars, beings of thought rather than war. But the Krillian invasion had spared no one, not even the neutral observers. Aris moved through the ruins with careful steps, each one stirring dust that had once been buildings, lives, futures. The human colony had been small, insignificant in the grand calculus of the war. Perhaps that was why the Krillians had struck it, to send a message that nowhere was safe, that even the forgotten corners of the galaxy would burn. He was cataloging the destruction for the Galactic Council when he heard it. A sound so fragile, it seemed impossible amid the devastation. A cry. High-pitched, insistent, alive. Aris's triple-layered eyelids blinked in succession as his head swiveled toward the source. There, in the skeletal remains of what might have been a residential structure, something moved beneath a collapsed beam. His claws, each the length of a human forearm, carefully lifted the debris away. The baby was impossibly small, wrapped in a thermal blanket that had somehow kept her alive through the bombardment. Her face was red with crying, tiny fists waving at the uncaring sky. Human, female, no more than a few months old by their developmental standards. Aris should have reported this to the Council immediately. Protocol demanded it. But as he looked at this tiny survivor, something ancient stirred in his chest. Something that predated protocols and councils. Something fundamental to all sentient life. He could not leave her. The journey back to Draconis Prime took 3 standard weeks. Aris had converted his personal quarters aboard his ship into a makeshift nursery, utilizing the vessel's medical bay to synthesize human-appropriate nutrition. The AI assured him the baby was healthy, miraculously uninjured. He named her Luna Wren, after the Earth bird in the human databases and the lunar colony, where humanity first reached beyond their homeworld. You understand this is unprecedented, Council Elder Thaxacor had said when Aris presented Luna to the Assembly. A Draconis raising a human child. The legal complications alone. I invoke the right of salvage and the oath of protection, Aris had replied, his voice resonant in the great chamber. She is mine to raise, and I am hers to guide. Our laws are clear, they could not argue. The old laws, written when the Draconis themselves were a younger species, were absolute. Luna grew quickly by Draconis standards. Where their young spent decades in contemplative study, she was running within a year, speaking within 2. Aris's home became filled with her laughter, with human books and toys shipped from the few remaining human colonies, with the sound of small feet pattering on ancient stone floors. She called him Papa Aris in her high, sweet voice, and something in his great heart melted every time. But Luna was not just human, she was raised among dragons. She learned the Draconis language alongside English, studied their philosophy and history as her own heritage. By age 7, she could discuss quantum mechanics with the scholars and debate ethics with the eldest dragons. Yet she also brought something new to Draconis Prime. Spontaneity, joy, the very human capacity for hope in the face of darkness. The war continued. The Krillians pushed deeper into galactic space. The human remnants, scattered across a dozen systems, fought with the desperate fury of a species facing extinction. And the Draconis, as always, maintained their neutrality, their ancient wisdom counseling patience and observation. Luna was 12 when she confronted the Council herself. "You let my people die," she said, her voice clear in the echoing chamber. Aris stood behind her, proud and terrified. "You watch and document and philosophize while entire worlds burn. What good is wisdom that does nothing?" "Child," Elder Thaxacor rumbled, "you do not understand the complexity." "I understand that complexity is what cowards hide behind." Luna's eyes blazed with fury and grief. "The Draconis are powerful. Your ships, your technology, you could turn this war. But you choose not to because it's easier to watch than to act." The chamber fell silent. No one had spoken to the Council this way in living memory. "I am human and Draconis both," Luna continued, her voice softening. "Papa Aris taught me your ways, your patience, your wisdom. But my blood remembers Earth, remembers Colony 7, remembers that sometimes wisdom means standing up when others fall." Aris placed a gentle claw on her shoulder. She speaks truth, he said quietly. I found her in the ashes of our neutrality. Perhaps it is time we asked what our ancient wisdom is worth if we lose our compassion. The debate that followed lasted 3 days. But Luna's words had planted a seed. Within a month, the Draconis Council voted to end their neutrality. Their intervention in the war was not one of violence but of protection, their shields defending human colonies, their diplomatic might rallying other neutral species to the cause. The Krillians, facing a united front they had never anticipated, sued for peace within a year. Luna Wren was 17 when she stood on the memorial platform built on the restored site of Colony 7. Humans and Draconis stood together, two species bound by tragedy and choice. Aris, now graying along his magnificent snout, stood beside his daughter as she addressed the gathered crowds. We are told that stars die alone, she said, her voice carried across the memorial grounds, that each civilization must face the darkness in isolation. But I am living proof that this is a lie. I was found in fire and raised in wisdom. I am human and I am Draconis, and in me, in all of us, is the possibility of something greater. Eris's eyes gleamed with pride. She had grown into something neither human nor Draconis alone could have imagined, a bridge between worlds, a symbol of what compassion could build from the ashes of war. That night, as artificial stars glittered above the memorial, Luna leaned against her father's massive form as she had done since childhood. Thank you, Papa, she whispered, for not leaving me behind. Aris wrapped a protective wing around her as he had done on that first night aboard his ship. Thank you, little star, he rumbled softly, for teaching an old dragon that sometimes the bravest thing wisdom can do is act. Above them, human ships and Draconis vessels moved in formation, patrolling the newly peaceful sector. Two civilizations born of fire and stars finally home.